There's always something more fun to do than paying bills, like checking your Facebook page or mopping the floors. But QuickBooks can at least make paying those bills a little easier. To follow along in this video, open the working file called landworks_bills, or you can just watch the video. So bills come from your vendors, which could be your cell phone company, your suppliers, or your cleaning service, among others. And QuickBooks offers two ways to track and pay your bills. You could use the easy way. When the pile of bills gets high enough, you sit down and write checks to the vendors and assign the accounts to the expense accounts one by one. Or you could use the two-step process. You first enter the bill in QuickBooks when it arrives, and then pay the bill when it is due. One advantage of the two-step process is that QuickBooks can track your payables, so that you'll always know how much you owe at any given time. And another advantage is that QuickBooks can remind you when your bills are due. So let's talk about setting bill payment reminders and preferences. To set the reminders, go to the Edit menu and choose Preferences. And we'll click Reminders. On the My Preferences tab, you can select this option if you want a reminder each time you start QuickBooks. This is kind of a in-your-face reminder, and to me, I find it a little annoying, so I always leave this unchecked, but check it if you like to see your reminders list all the time. If you don't select this option, you can always go to the Company menu and click Reminders to see the reminders list. And I'll show you that later. So let's go on to the Company Preferences tab. And the one we're interested in right now is Bills to Pay. And you would select Show Summary to have the reminders list show a one-line summary and the total for all bills coming due. If you want to list each bill and the amount coming due, select Show List. In the Days Before Due Date field, type the number of days before bills are due that you want to have QuickBooks remind you. And I like a shorter time, so I will change it to 5. And by the way, as long as we're here, you'll notice that a couple of these options are in gray. And that means that your version of QuickBooks doesn't have that feature. So this is QuickBooks Pro, and these features aren't available. And you can set a couple preferences for entering and paying bills, so let's go to Bills Preferences. And click Yes to save your reminders preferences. This first option sets up reminders for when bills are due. So for this option, QuickBooks enters 10 as the number of days, but you can change that if you want. When that due date arrives, QuickBooks adds the bill to your reminders list. Using 10 days as the example, if you enter a bill on July 18th, the bill would be due on July 28th. QuickBooks uses the number you enter when the vendor has not specified any payment terms. So if your payment terms with a particular vendor is net 15, your bill would be due on August 2nd. For the next option, keep the checkbox checked if you want QuickBooks to warn you about duplicate bill numbers. And this is handy to avoid paying the same bill twice. And now for paying bills preferences. If you check Automatically Use Credits, QuickBooks will apply any credits you have with the vendor to the bill you are paying. If you check Automatically Use Discounts, QuickBooks will apply any discounts you have with the vendor. For example, if the vendor terms are 2% 10 net 30 and you pay within 10 days, QuickBooks will automatically calculate the discount and apply it against the bill. If you check this option, you'll need to choose the account in your chart of accounts you use to track vendor discounts. And this shouldn't be the same account that you use for customer discounts. So this vendor discounts account can be either an income account or an expense account. You would create it as an income account if you consider the early payment discount as money you've earned. You would create it as an expense account if you consider the discount as money you saved on expenses. So let's go ahead and click the vendor discounts account. And click OK to save the bill preferences. And now, as promised, let me show you the reminders list. So go to the Company menu and choose Reminders. So it shows you bills to pay, money to deposit, all sorts of things. Okay, let's go ahead and close this. And now that you've set bill preferences, It's time to pay some bills.